What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Halloween Spooktacular. Today I'm going to be talking about another movie involving dreams. That seems to be a common theme, since I'm also going to be talking about one of the Nightmare on Elm Street movies and a Nightmare on Elm Street retrospective. I'm just saying those are coming next. I know I kind of keep you in surprise with these to see which ones I'm going to do, but those are two of the ones that are coming soon. And this one also deals with dreams. And I alluded to this one in my review for The Cell, that it was one of those DVDs that just stayed on the shelf when I was little because I was too afraid to watch it, or, I don't even think my parents knew that we had this one, and that is In Dreams. In Dreams stars Annette Bening, and it has Robert Downey Jr., before he was Iron Man, as a serial killer. This one is kind of bad, honestly. This is like one of the few bad ones I've talked about this year. In Dreams, I think, has lots of good scenery in it, mostly because they filmed on location in Western Mass, places that I know because I have family that lives out there. My cousin Pat, that comes on my channel sometimes, he lives out that way. So I know some of the places where they filmed. Scenes look really familiar, the locations look really familiar, and I'm just like, oh yeah, I know where that is. Also, Robert Downey Jr., for the 20 minutes he's in this movie, fucking kills it, as he always does. He's so good in this movie. Annette Bening is good in the movie too, but he just overshadows everybody in this movie. Annette Bening overshadows the rest of the supporting cast, but Robert Downey Jr. in his 20 minutes overshadows everybody. The rest of the movie isn't very good, as I've already alluded to. And as I just said, these two actors, Annette Bening and Robert Downey Jr., Robert Downey Jr. in particular, just overshadow everybody, and she overshadows the rest of the supporting cast, who look like they haven't acted a day in their life. There are some really terrible performances in here. They feel very amateurish, despite all these actors being accomplished and having been good in other roles and in other movies before in their careers. I don't know what happened here. Like, Neil Jordan is also an established director. When it comes to writing this movie, there's no cohesiveness to it. The narrative is all over the place, and the movie really sets itself up in the opening credits of the movie to act as if it's going to be this movie that takes place in a ghost town in Northfield, Massachusetts. One, I can tell you, Northfield, Massachusetts is not a ghost town. It is a place that does exist, but it is live and well, I could tell you that. And two, like, what does this have to do with anything? They attempt to connect it back at the end of the movie, but what was even the setup there? There's no payoff to that setup. Do you see what I mean? Like, the screenplay is very weak compared to other screenplays of this nature. And for instance, like, Robert Downey Jr. plays a serial killer who kills children, but Annette Bening has like this psychic dream connection to him, and he has this psychic connection to her. It's not really explained. There's just so much confusion in this movie through the screenplay, and how it's translated onto the screen is really baffling. How filmmakers of this caliber, who have been so accomplished and have made some great movies in the past, can just make a movie that feels so small and feels so amateurish compared to their other movies. There's even scenes in here that feel like they should be extended, but they just cut immediately to a different scene. There's an argument scene between Annette Bening and her husband, who's played by Aidan Quinn, that felt like it should have been extended. There's quite a few instances like that where they just cut mid-scene to another scene, and characters are supposed to be in specific places, not because the screenplay says so, but because the editing says so. It's like they got from point A to Y while skipping B to X because the editing. It's a very oddly edited movie, and I didn't have much enjoyment in watching this movie. This is the first time I have seen this movie, despite it being on my DVD shelf back in the day. The only things I got out of this were Robert Downey Jr. was great, and yeah, I liked seeing some of the scenery because I'm like, wow, those people actually stepped foot on land and locations that I know of that are very familiar to me. It's like when Mel Gibson was filming Edge of Darkness. I'm like, I'm only 2.5 hours away from Mel Gibson. Mommy, can we go see him? But it was even better for my cousins because they were like 5 minutes down the road from him, and my cousin saw Mel Gibson at Best Buy one time and was like, hey, how are you? So he kind of got to meet Mel Gibson, not to brag or anything, but that was the appeal after watching this movie, to me, of watching In Dreams. There's no cohesiveness to any of the psychic dream powers that both Robert Downey Jr.'s character and Annette Bening's character have. I don't even remember their names, for Christ's sake. I would be talking about them with their names if I remembered their names. There's no cohesiveness as to why they have this connection. There's no cohesiveness as to what is actually happening in the screenplay. Why is this set up as a ghost town when it has nothing to do with really anything? In Dreams is kind of a poorly made movie with a standout performance from Robert Downey Jr. and some great sets that are filmed on location in Western Mass and beautiful scenery. Because it's Western Mass here, it's kind of secluded, but not necessarily in the middle of nowhere. Having that familiar look to it, I appreciated that because I could point out where things were, but the rest of the movie is just kind of a slog and not very well made. I'm going to give In Dreams a C-. Robert Downey Jr. really carries this movie on his back for the 25 minutes he's in it. So doesn't the Western Massachusetts scenery. That's a character in and of itself. If you have seen In Dreams, let me know what you think of it in the comments below. I'll leave my link to my website in the description below as well. You guys are the best. Thank you for watching. My name is Alex Madden, and I will see you at the movies somewhere.